What is up, everyone? What the? Who are you? Oh, hey, man. It's me, the movie worm. I'm you from another universe. Oh, right. That's weird. Hi. Hey, so how many subs you got? I'm on like 2 million now. Dude, can you believe it? I don't like you. Oh, come on, man. Everyone loves me in my universe. Everyone. I'm so popular. Oh, come on, man. Look, man, I got a movie review to do, so if you don't mind. Oh, what you reviewing? That new Doctor Strange movie? I reviewed that. Looks like I got mine out before yours, huh? I got like 10 million views on that. Shut up! What is up, everyone? Movie back again with another review. Now, I just want to apologise quickly for my voice. I have explained on another video just before this why my voice is like this. So I hope it's not too distracting for you all. But this is going to be a review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi and starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen and Rachel McAdams. This tells the story of Doctor Strange trying to save the universe or multiverse from forces that may be too hot for him to handle. So after Marvel teasing us with their new concept of the multiverse in the Spider-Man film, Loki the TV series and What If, it was time to go full on in their new direction. So how did it fare? Let's find out. First off, I just have to hand it to Marvel because after watching Endgame, I didn't really know how much further they could go. I thought they were just going to come back down to earth and do more story-driven movies, but here we are, jumping from multiverse to multiverse, and they are pushing the boundaries here, and hats off to them for even daring to think this up. I mean, it's a very intriguing one to say the least, and I also want to applaud Marvel for getting Sam Raimi on board here because one of the best things about this movie for me was seeing his little magic touches throughout. I mean, as the runtime goes on, he does remind you who's in the director's chair every now and again. But one of these is most notable is being the horror elements that this actually has. Now, you don't see too many Marvel movies with this type of genre in there, but I'm a big horror fan, so it definitely worked for me. And when I say they pushed the boundaries, they done it even more with this horror element because sometimes it does feel like it's a little bit too much for kids, especially one scene in the middle of the movie where it kind of goes into a slasher type film for a little bit there. And I was just watching it going, wow, this is definitely Sam Raimi directing this movie. He's also very clever behind the camera here. Now, this is a Doctor Strange film. If you remember the last one, it's kind of trippy to watch at times. So it does need clever camera work, and Sam Raimi done really well here with the spiralling shot you may have seen in the trailer. Lots of great camera pans, very, very pacey camera movements, and it all just works well. Now, I think he absolutely nailed it. Now, America Chavez, who is this new character in this Marvel universe, if you like, she can actually jump from universe to universe. That's her power. And one moment in this movie, her and Doctor Strange have to jump through a few universes, and it was honestly one of the best things I've ever seen from a director directing Marvel films. It was the best moment of the movie for me. I was just watching it going, wow, this is amazing, this is incredible. And it kind of reminded me of that great moment from Spider-Man Far From Home where Mysterio does that mind trick, moment in the movie there. It was on par with that for being absolutely visually stunning, if you like. Speaking of Chavez, I thought she was a very welcome character. I really, really liked her screen time, and she was just fun to be around. Now, I can see her being used a lot more in future if Kevin Feige is deciding to carry on with this multiverse for a bit. I mean, why wouldn't he? So I'm all good with that. However, I just don't hope that he doesn't overkill it. And especially after seeing it in a few things now, and I'm still kind of on the fence. I just don't know if this is going to be for me personally, but we'll just have to wait and see. I just want to touch on Elizabeth Olsen here as well. I don't want to go too much into her character for those who haven't seen the movie, but it was just so good to see her back. She is one of my favourite characters from the MCU with the things that she's capable of doing, and I just like watching her all unfold on screen. But it was so good to see her back after WandaVision, which I absolutely loved. She's a great actress, her character's great. And there's even an emotional attachment here that I think they handled really, really well, and it was one of the best parts of the film, or storyline if you like. I also think this film might contain more fight scenes and action set pieces than a lot of other MCU films. I mean, it seems to be every other scene someone is having a fight or there's a big battle going on somewhere. And one of the ones that particularly stood out for me was near the start of the movie where Doctor Strange is just fighting this gigantic monster on the streets of New York there. That was incredible to watch. I do feel though sometimes that story is actually sacrificed for some of these moments. Now, I don't think it's a bad story or anything, but just by the end, I don't think it was fully flushed out like some other MCU films. And I just feel like it was missing a little bit something there. It was like they were trying to play with this multiverse concept a little bit too much and sort of forgot about the story a little bit there. Also, if you're expecting a lot of cameos here, you may be disappointed. Now, this is not a negative because you have to manage your expectations. You can't just expect all these people to turn up because you watched a few YouTube videos with rumours about who might be in the movie. But for a film that is titled The Multiverse of Madness, I would have liked one or two more to show up here because it just felt like it was missing one or two more. But what we do get is some really cool ones actually. I enjoyed what was given to us. I just thought that the movie could have done with one or two more in that third act there. That's all. But it's not a negative. That is a mixed bag. That is me thinking who could be in it and who couldn't, etc. Now, one thing I will say that this film is visually stunning with the special effects and stuff. However, I do think by the third act it felt like a little bit of a light show and a little bit overwhelming. Now, I know you're going to get that in a lot of MCU films, especially going forward with this multiverse and madness and stuff. But sometimes I do feel like it's better to just have a little break in between scenes now and again. Everything just seemed like it was put in there to dazzle you. And I was just thinking, oh, I mean, as good as they look, you start to notice it because there is that much of it. And I just think it could have calmed it down a little bit there. It's a very, very chaotic film, if you like. Now, this is more of a personal gripe for me, but this is my review, so why not? I think I might be in the minority here, but what doesn't help this film along for me is Doctor Strange. He is not my favourite character in the MCU by any stretch. I could probably name 10 off the top of my head now that I would prefer to see in a movie than Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch is a great actor and stuff, but as a character of Doctor Strange, just doesn't do too much for me. I'm not going to lie. I just think he's one of the most uninteresting characters, one of the most boring, if you like. I mean, he's not exactly Iron Man or Spider-Man or Incredible Hulk or anything. He's just this guy who puts a collar up and does a few magic tricks. I don't think there's a lot of character to him, in all honesty, but that's just my personal opinion, and that did bring the movie down just a little bit for me there. I'm definitely going to be more excited to go and see a Spider-Man film or a Thor movie than a Doctor Strange one. Do you think a lot of the typical MCU humour here was missing as well? Now, maybe Sam Raimi intended this because he wanted to go for more horror style and more horror elements, but you do kind of expect it these days with the MCU, and maybe that is me, again, with expectations, but virtually every MCU film you see, you're laughing your ass off at certain moments, and here, I can't really remember laughing too much, apart from the final credit scene, which does grasp a little bit back, because that was one of the funniest damn things I have ever seen in the MCU. I was laughing my ass off at that, but I just wish it was in the film a little bit more. I'm just going to go ahead and rate this movie now. I'm going to give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a 7.5 out of 10. It's another good entry for the MCU. Not near the top of my ranking or anything, but that is not a bad thing because there is only really 2 movies in this whole franchise that I don't like, and this isn't one of them. So, yeah, it was a good movie. You know, I wish there was a little bit more gone into the story and stuff, but it was a very, very nice surprise to see some horror elements thrown into the MCU there, and it was a good concept to see come alive on the big screen. Okay, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is that this is Sam Raimi's first directed film in 9 years since Oz the Great and Powerful. Sam Raimi directed Oz the Great and Powerful? Really? Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed this review. I'm very sorry about my hoarse voice. I hope it wasn't too distracting, but hopefully this will be cleared up in the next few days and I can get back to sounding normal on videos. If you want more MCU reviews, they will be down below, and if you want more 2022 movie reviews, they'll be down below as well. What did you think of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Hope this review was okay for you. Let me know down below in the comments and I will get back to you all, I promise. Please consider subscribing to this channel. It will really help me out. Take it all easy guys, and I'll see you all next video.